Hey guys, if you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and definitely ring a ding ding that bell notification button. It helps the channel grow and it helps me bring you guys a lot more. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Future Figuarts. Well, it's been a while and I believe the last time we took a look at one of the Pride Troopers, Dispo. Since then, we've seen only one Pride Trooper released, being Jiren, but I'm pretty sure we'll see Top sooner or later. Now on today's episode, we're going to take a leap across the franchise and go back to the future in a sense, taking a look at perhaps another long-awaited character who seems more likely than ever to be produced now that the likes of Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta have actually been announced and released. And that is the penultimate big bad of Dragon Ball GT, Omega Shenron. Okay, so Omega Shenron. First things first is his color scheme. This is probably the easiest to nail. We've got an off-white with some, I want to say, slate blue scattered across his chest and in the form of petrified Dragon Balls. And then of course are the huge black spikes and lastly red eyes. I could see Tamashii using a similar shade as with Super Buu or Hercule's pants for the main color of Omega Shenron's body, or pretty much the whole thing. And then hopefully producing an all-new unique shade of blue for the other parts, just to give the figure a little bit more uniquity to it. Now I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a figure that definitely needs some shading. As we know, Tamashii has been sort of lenient with shading on some figures lately, especially the ones with side character releases such as pretty much the whole Ginyu Force, as well as Zarbon and Dodoria, aka Dynamic Saga people. But I mean, if they pull that kind of treatment with this character, I don't know if it'll go over well, to be honest. I also think it would be a great idea to have little notches and nicks engraved into Omega Shenron's body as we saw with Final Form Cooler's armor. It just helps give the figure that much more depth and character, and it saves it from looking bland, especially if there's no shading. Now let's talk about the scaling. I think while scaling isn't perfect with this line, but really what line is, this figure is totally doable. Just from a couple scenes in the anime, he looks to be roughly around Super Buu's height, and as far as width, I'd say somewhere between Raccoon and Raditz. When it comes to the spikes, I think the glossy look would suit him very well. Again, Omega Shenron is pretty plain looking, akin to Super Buu, so every little bit of contrast would help to make the figure not look like it was just a cheap figure. There really isn't much more to Omega's appearance other than that. No tail, no fancy accessories, he's literally just a humanoid dragon, and I mean, if they can pull Cooler and second form Frieza off, then they can probably do Omega Shenron. And hey, he'd probably even pave the way for third form Frieza to some extent. Alrighty, so faces. Now I have a feeling Tamashii would keep it pretty basic here, meaning we'd probably see the typical neutral face, a shouting face, and an evil smirk. I'd hazard a guess at maybe even some kind of comical, shocked face if they decide to release the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to pair him with later on, but much of Omega's screen time is spent akin to Buhan, hunting down Goku and Vegeta, railing them, and repeating in between monologues, through which he actually makes some good points, by the way. Until we see Omega get canonized in new material, there's much left to be desired in terms of fleshing out his character, which is why there isn't really much to discuss with faceplates in my opinion. Now for hands, I think the most unique they could probably go is seeing an energy ball attached to the hand as similar to Kefla or OG Frieza. Perhaps there's a possibility of a hand grasping some hair like Jiren, but it begs the question of whose hair, Goku or Vegeta's? Surely they just wouldn't make a Gogeta because that literally never happened in the anime. Aside from this, we definitely see fists and open blast hands. I think depending on how much of the budget is spent on the paint apps will ultimately determine if we see some sort of grasping hands also included with this release. So for potential accessories, the first thing that comes to mind would be a Black Star Dragon Ball. I mean, it's kind of obvious with this one, isn't it? But with Goku and Vegeta not coming with those, I wonder if they'd even do that, because it would mean that they'd have to release 6 more GT figures on top of that. In addition, the sort of purplish black Ki Blast that Omega does is definitely something to consider. They could probably even use a similar palette to the accessory that OG Goku Black came with. To my earlier point though, I think it's best to use accessories as nods to other releases such as Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. It'd help give the display some more character and depth and just incentive overall for collectors to actually want to buy all 3 figures. If they were feeling confident, then release an entire Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta head with Omega Shenron, like the laughing expression or something. Other than that, rock effect parts maybe? That'd be a huge plus in my book, or even some kind of city rebel. Or perhaps it's an opportunity for Tamashii to start including some background cutouts, such as the ones we see with Marvel Select figures. Other than that, there really isn't much that's specific to Omega Shenron when it comes to accessories. Alright guys, so Omega Shenron. I know quite a few of you want him made, and I actually do think he's more likely to appear sooner than later. I'm not sure if I'd pick him up though. I imagine his price point to be around like $120, but if they do a great job on the paint apps, I might consider it. What are your thoughts on the character? Did you like him? Did you watch GT? Do you think things will eventually lead back to the Shadow Dragons ending the franchise once and for all again? Comment below and let me know. And you know what I always say? May the best of your days be the worst of your tomorrows.